And as Arsenio used to say, yeah, we got a whole lot to say, got the whole lot to say in this episode, and not a lot of time to do it. So as Arsenio used to say, let's get busy. or in Buddy Love's case, now find that rich dummy over there a seat. All these rich dummies find them a seat. It's showtime. Eddie Murphy's soul should have played a Joker in a Batman film. If DC make it happen, cast him for a Joker, live action or animated.
Yeah.
Okay, so here once again for another Royal Talk, episode 4, and today, you know, it's the holidays and everything, leading up to Christmas. Fa la 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 la. So a special holiday treat of the Nutty Professor. But you probably say, like, wait, that doesn't sound too Christmassy. Well, thing is, growing up, I saw the Nutty Professor. Okay, technically, I saw it before Christmas, the first time I actually looked at the whole movie, but I saw the sequel, Nutty Professor 2. I got it as a Christmas gift. And there is a deleted scene in the sequel that is Christmassy. After, I think it was a fantasy of their new house there. Yeah, but jumping ahead of ourselves, yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing the Nutty Professor when it first came out in theaters when I was 10. And I know my folks took me back then because the movie was rated PG-13.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yes, I saw the first film in the theaters.
Yeah, and I remember I almost saw the first movie, I think on actual VHS. I think not too long after it first came out. But then I got sent to my room because my mom realized the rating on it after I think they got to the part where Sherman was looking at Jada Pinkett upside down.
Yes.
Oh no, it's PG-13, Gabe. You can't see this. Mom! But man!
She just took the movie away from you.
Well, actually, she took me away from the movie. Oh, technically speaking. Oh, boy. I almost forgot King Gabe
and Queen Tina. Yes, we just got ahead of ourselves right now.
Yeah, we're talking about an original classic there. Yeah, it's a breath of fresh air from what we suffered through with the sequel to Teen Wolf. Oh boy, yeah, and the very first of Eddie Murphy's really sympathetic roles. It is cinematic, but yeah, sympathetic role of, you know, the character Sherman Clump. Yeah, because Sherman was a very sympathetic character there. Some of you probably don't know, and then some of you probably do know that this is actually a remake of the Jerry Lewis Nutty Professor movie. From I think was the 60s there.
Yeah, I think it was the 60s.
Yeah, with a major different take on it, whereas the Jerry Lewis originally was from nerd to cool, sort of like Love Don't Cost a Thing movie. This movie took the approach of still having that, but making it more of a professor that was overweight and wanted to be skinny and look good, yeah. Which was a pretty big change and bit of an I think that pretty much gave an originality to the new remake there. Yep, and not to mention we have elements of movies like The Absent-Minded Professor in it too. You know, a little bit there, a little bit of it. Absent-Minded Professor and Flubber. Yeah, so. Yeah, it's quite a bit of references for this movie there. I didn't even have that in my notes.
It's just an ad.
Oh yeah, just broke the fourth wall there. So starting off with about from the beginning of the movie. Being as how I grew up, as well, both of us saw this as kids. There,
Yes.
not at the same time, not in the same location, because she was in California, I was here in Shreveport chilling. Yeah, I would have had to fly over to California to make that possible.
Or me just flying over to Shreveport.
Yeah. Yep. So yeah, one thing I did not realize as a kid, is that the Clumps. Oh, also Lance Perkins first. We'll get to the Clumps in a minute. That Lance Perkins was actually played by Eddie Murphy. I had no idea of that. That was something I found out, like, I'm not sure how long, but at some point, I think it might have been possible watching Nostalgia Critics old versus new video. I might have found out there, or probably some other way, but I had no idea that Lance Perkins was Eddie Murphy dressed in a costume. Yeah, that was a major surprise. Almost, but a much better, at least a slightly better role than his roles in Norbit.
Yeah, I didn't know it. I didn't know the fitness instructor was Eddie Murphy back then. At first, I thought it was a different person.
Yeah, it just was like, oh, ironically, he just has a really large nose.
I think he's a parody of Richard Simmons. He looks similar to Richard Simmons.
So
he was a fitness instructor back in the 80s and 90s.
Oh, I see. That's one.
Yes.
Yeah, we all know. Let's swing! Macho man! I'm a pony! I'm my little pony! Yes!
He did have the hair like him, but it's not like an afro shape. I know Richard Simmons had an afro. He's white, but with an afro.
I think it may have been adding their own flavor to the character, though.
I guess if Richard Simmons had a Jerry curl.
Either that, or if Richard Simmons decided to take the Bob Ross approach.
Oh.
Okay, and you take this. Take a little yellow there. Work the red. And you can be. Yes, you can. Wouldn't it have been funny if it went that direction, or if somebody made a parody of that?
Yeah.
Lance, Richard Simmons, Bob Ross combination. Oh boy. So of course after that, humorous scene there that probably got a lot of chuckles out of people at the beginning of the film, and also introducing us to Sherman Clump as he got ready for work. We then get Attack of the Hamsters. Almost sounds like another parody movie. That with some good, depending on how they write that, actually could be pretty funny as well, if you think about it.
It almost reminds me of the Birds movie, except hamsters don't fly.
Oh yeah, they're all on the ground and everything.
It'll be worse if it was birds.
Oh boy. Oh dear God, because they be pecking and all that.
Don't get me started with bats.
Oh boy, that'd be Batman's type of movie there.
Need I say more about the roaches and rats?
Don't. Yeah, let's not go there now.
Or bees?
Or
wasps? Yeah.
Not the bees.
Or even wasps?
No need to go there.
Or even wasps and stuff.
And we all know where the bees would go.
Yeah.
Not the bees. Not the bees.
Or even mosquitoes.
Oh no, we definitely don't need that. No.
That'll be a lot of West Nile digging.
No. That'd be, oh dear God, no.
I'd rather be surrounded by cats or dogs.
Well, be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Cats and dogs.
now you mentioned mosquito, and they made me think of Steve Harvey when he went over into Africa. It's like, what's that big thing over there? It is a mosquito. No, that big thing right over there. It is a mosquito.
Trying this translation, that mosquito is giant size.
Yeah, mosquito was bigger than a bird. All of a sudden, the mosquito plug.
It's bigger than a bird. I would say like bigger than an eagle.
Oh boy, and as Steve Harvey say, it bit somebody. Bump grew out like long enough for him to see it. Oh, a bump.
Yeah.
And then he dies. That's major dark humor. So, dark humor aside, so yeah, we get Attack of the Hamsters, and Dean Richmond's first appearance in the midst of all this almost makes it look like he's a mannequin when he first appears.
To me, he looked more like a statue because of the hamsters on top of him.
Oh yeah,
I guess the hamsters are like his birds.
Get Clump in here now. Oh boy. And then of course Sherman arrives, and we find out that the reason all these hamsters were out and loose is because Sherman accidentally flipped the switch. Now now don't get me wrong. That does it's funny. That is funny, the switch, because, they do a lot of other things because, Sherman's massive size and, comedical antics. But there is one problem with that, if you really stop and think about it. When that happens, like when it actually happens right in front of everybody, like he's explaining it to Jason and everybody, I went around, I picked up my portfolio, and then I turned it, bop, bop. There's an alarm that goes off the minute he flips that switch, and all those doors open makes a pretty loud sound. Are you really telling me that Sherman, pretty sure he probably was by himself when it happened, but you're telling me that he was so, even if he was in a rush, you're telling me that he wouldn't hear a loud alarm like that?
He might have been in a rush or just daydreaming that he forgot the alarm was on when he flipped the switch. He must have been daydreaming.
He had to be daydreaming pretty hard to not hear that. That's some that is some Doug level daydreaming, and I don't mean you, nostalgia critic. Calm down. I mean Doug, funny, the yeah, that Doug.
Yeah.
As there was a joke made about his daydreaming. So what? So Doug, what do you think about the video? Doug, I hate it when you do this. Why do you go where I can't follow? Yeah, that had to be some Doug level daydreaming. Too much. Okay, I guess that's a plot hole that I guess we just have to work with to live with there. I guess I must have grazed the switch. So, yeah. So, plot hole aside, there's also this one hamster they're experimenting on for apparently a weight loss formula named Shelly. And that is a mighty big hamster. The hamster is so big to the point where she cannot move on her own. She's like,
and we see that her legs and arms are way up.
yeah, like, so obviously it's explained that that's an animatronic. If you look at the behind the scenes, if you look up behind the scenes stuff about the movie, yeah, it revealed that that's an animatronic. And some of you probably like, well, shouldn't that be obvious? Well, as a kid, just like with the Lance Perkins thing, I was thinking that they really got a giant hamster. When I saw, I was about 12 years old when my mom allowed me to actually look at the movie.
If there is a hamster like this in real life who is morbidly obese, I don't think that hamster would live that long. It would just die soon.
Yeah, so that definitely, it definitely makes sense that that had to be an animatronic hamster, because I highly doubt.
They wouldn't do this to a real hamster. That's just animal cruelty, overfeeding a hamster like that.
True, and even, and I guess it's implied in the movie that the hamster has some type of gland disorder that makes it that makes her that way. Now this is a very rare thing. It's not something that's common, but in real life you do have some cases where some people have a gland disorder that makes them chubby. And no, I don't have it. I just ate a lot. But yeah, there's some people that actually it's not from them eating a lot. It's just their body just makes them that way from a gland disorder. Yeah. But it's a very rare case. So yeah, it's not something that's going to be common, like a common cold or something there. Yeah. At least as far as I've seen there. The only reason that I know about it, the little bit I do know, is because my family pointed out that Rance Allen was like that, the guy that sings Miracle Worker. Something about the name of Jesus. Yeah. Yep. So, yeah, that is a possibility. And for all we know, as a character, Sherman could be a cross between that rare case and also probably eating too. He could have both.
Well, he is 400 pounds.
Yeah, so chances are he probably, was just a chubby person naturally, like me here. But the excessive size to 400 pounds could have also been the gland disorder kind of intervening in that there.
He may have been like this in his childhood, overweight.
Probably so, because Papa Clump mentioned some stuff about that, about him in the bloopers. Heard Sherman was so hungry one time growing up, he beat up a grown man. Yeah, beat up a grown man. He had to be pretty big for that. So yeah, definitely animatronic with Shelley. Gland disorders do exist for certain people that are extremely obese. Like I say, it's very rare, but it is out there. Then, of course, we get the talk between Sherman and Dean Richmond, where he's not too happy about the whole hamster attack, obviously. Of course, he was covered in hamsters, so I probably would not be too happy myself. Just saying. Anything I can get for you? Juice, coffee, rack of lamb. Perhaps some chicken. Maybe the whole bucket. No, sir, I'm quite fine, thank you, but I do appreciate the offer. You know what would be funny with that scene? Now the chicken part, I added that. He doesn't actually say the chicken in the movie. But another thing that would really be funny that I thought of when sometimes I be thinking about this movie on my own is a little joke about when they're sitting there silently before Sherman says, "You did want to see me about something." Imagine that silence lasts, just goes on for a few minutes. Like,
Talking to start the music plays.
Oh yeah,
Some music in the background plays during your silence.
What kind of music you had in mind?
Possibly the music from Jeopardy.
Oh, oh, that.
Yeah.
Do. Some. Anybody out there want to take a shot at making that video? Floor is open. Of course, I guess that would be funnier, but the Jeopardy idea, but also throw in maybe a tumbleweed.
A tumbleweed in the office.
Or even maybe one with some crickets chirping. Yeah. one thing you definitely gotta like about Sherman, which is immediately shared with you in the beginning of the movie. He really tries to make good out of a bad situation. Admittedly, there are times where it's like, okay, Sherman, maybe this isn't. There's nothing good in the situation, but you gotta give him credit for trying, though. Yeah, and that's just kind of one of the things about the nature of his character, and Eddie Murphy really pulls this off really well there.
Yeah, he is a positive person, but there are some moments when you try to be positive in a bad situation, it can be difficult. That deep down inside, you want to either you can't express deep down inside you either have a feeling of anger or just broke down and cry. That you just need to be alone for a while to express how you really feel inside, without no one looking.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Depending on the situation you're in. Like a bad situation, you try to keep positive, but it's difficult for you.
Yep. And I think he, in a way, and while he does, and while it is different depending on the character he's playing, it's his the way he does those type of emotions with most of the characters that he's played does have a similarity. You have Sherman with trying to make bad of a good situation, and then getting emotional. Some of the family members, obviously, his character in Coming to America, and one of the characters that really kind of portrays what a lot of people think of when they think of Eddie Murphy in the real world as a party all the time. His Dreamgirls role, and they had a tragedy with his character there. And the reason he was doing all the partying and being a wild guy was because the guy was was dying. Yeah, he was actually close to death's door, and this was his way of, well, I might as well go out on a high note. I don't want to just mope around and feel depressed. But truly, but truth be told, he really was depressed. There were some scenes where he actually did show that. Especially one scene in Ringo, he looking out at the girls singing, and I kid you not, he didn't go bawling, crying, but in his eyes, it looked like tears being held back. Yeah, next thing you know, they say he was dead. His character, which was pretty tragic there. So, yeah, I give Eddie Murphy a lot of credit with those kind of roles in the movies I've seen. Of him. A lot of the movies that I've seen of him, really being able to pull that type of thing off. Especially ones where he will, especially portraying multiple personalities. Yeah. Yeah. So, yep, definitely kudos to Eddie Murphy for that there. And, and yeah, going back to Nutty Professor, I didn't mean to go that far off. Of course, when Dean Richmond tells, the meeting is over, one of the hamsters has been pooping in Dean's coffee. Yeah, and of course, Sherman tries to tell him that, and Dean's like, before you said, but sir, that was the end of the meeting. Okay, well, I guess I'll leave. Now, this is he could have done this, but it probably wouldn't have worked even if he did. Well, I guess I'll leave. Yeah, pleasant evening. There's rat poop in your coffee. Go! Yeah, it still wouldn't have worked even if he threw that in there.
I'm surprised he didn't look or smell at his coffee before drinking it. That's what I would do. I would either look at it or smell it. Like, something's not right. Can you give me a fresh cup of coffee?
He should. Yes, you're right. He should have done that. But Dean was probably in the state of mind of, the whole thing of fussing at Sherman at that moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, sort of like you mentioned about Sherman daydreaming with the hamster thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I guess in Dean's case, he was so upset he just wasn't paying attention there. Which is why telling him rat poop is in the coffee would not have worked. Go! Grace, the cream is turned again. Oh, what? What proof do you need? Does a hamster need to fall in your... Oh, wait, it did.
I bet that was a fake hamster being dropped in the cup, and then they put a real hamster in an empty cup that's already been wet.
Probably was water. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Probably some water that they used to get the hamster a little wet there.
Yeah, and put it in an empty cup to pretend that the hamster did drop in the coffee.
Gotta love how they pull off those effects.
Yeah. I bet the coffee that Dean Richmond drank was just a regular cup of coffee and pretended that it tastes terrible. I know they wouldn't give him a cup of coffee that's had actual poop.
They could have been
chocolate.
Yeah, I was about to say it could have been dropping some chocolates in there.
Yeah.
Although that would be funny if like I say if it was chocolate and maybe he actually didn't like chocolate.
Yeah.
And so the reaction was him reacting to the fact of, ooh, I hate chocolate. At least it ain't like the Wayne brothers with the Easter Bunny. What are you saying? The Easter Bunny is real, and he was real. He had wiggled his ears at me, and he left behind these tasty pellets of chocolate. Marlon, that wasn't chocolate. Oh man, that was and they just spoiled Marlon's childhood.
Oh.
So, and then of course, we see what Sherman's class is like. A brief moment of that. There's a funny joke of him erasing the board with his stomach there. Boy, I bet Sherman wish he had a whiteboard.
It'll be easier.
Yep. And then of course, has a secret stash of candy in his desk, which was Snicker bars. I'm okay with Snickers. If I was playing the role of Sherman, I would probably request something like either Butterfingers or in the event of something chewy, peanut butter Twix bars, or the cookies and cream. But the cookies and cream was more of a new flavor, so yeah, probably peanut butter back then.
Yeah.
And that would be my moment of.
Are you in your secret stash?
With my little music playing. Oh yeah. And then of course, we get introduced to Mrs. Purdy, the supposed love interest for the movie there. Seeing as how we do a lot, and yes, well, probably figured it out by now. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Probably, if you've been watching up to this point of our royal talk, you probably know that by now. But anyway, we'll say it anyway. Spoilers. We know that that Jada Pinkett not going to be the one that he marries. It's going to be Janet Jackson because we all know Will Smith would not allow that.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding on that one. But yeah, he does marry Janet Jackson's character. Yeah, in the sequel. But because of that, me as Sherman, this would be my Janet Jackson character right here.
Yeah.
For Miss Purdy, I would imagine someone like Mara Wilson, who played in Matilda. Yeah, as an adult. Yes, of course. Adult Mara Wilson. Yeah, but that's the movie I knew her from first, was Matilda, of course. Yeah, it would definitely be Mara Wilson, because I definitely could see her pulling off that role. Yeah.
Oh yeah, Miss Purdy.
So, another thing I didn't know as a kid, just like with Lance Perkins, I did not know the entire Klump family was played by Eddie Murphy either.
I was the same way too. I thought it was played by different people until I looked at their faces.
Oh yeah. Oh, so the faces gave it away for you?
Yeah.
Well,
Not just the face, but also the second movie.
Oh, so you found out when the second movie came out?
Yes, they were played by Eddie Murphy.
I think I may have found out at that point. I think maybe somebody had told me that somebody it was that I, either maybe my folks told me or something like that. But yeah, but the very first time I saw these movies, first time I saw these, well, at least the first one I know, I was thinking that the only character Eddie Murphy played was Buddy Love.
Yes.
Yeah, and I thought, Sherman and the Clump family were, different people at the table, especially, the effects that they use in shots where, you see more than one of them in the same scene there. Yeah, which of course the sequel has a behind the scenes of that. Be nice if they had a behind the scenes of the first movie, but oh well. Where they actually show how they get like the tennis balls and stuff like that. So, say each day, you say like one day, okay, say Christina is Miss Purdy, for example, and I'm Sherman Clump.
Yes.
So if I'm in the scene as Sherman Clump and we're just sitting here, I'm the only real person you're gonna see without the special effects. Everywhere else, you're gonna see tennis balls and some of the studio people having to do a voiceover for me to respond to. Ooh, I can't wait for Mr. Sherman Clump to bring me home some grandbabies. Mama, it's not like that. Then the next day, I would have to put on one of the other costumes and have a tennis ball in Sherman's place. And that's how they knew where to put, each of the character and morph them into that there. Kind of makes me wonder what that would be like if they did Nutty Professor in this day and time, live action with the advancements in CGI like what you got with the Marvel films and stuff.
It would be no different, but it would be updated.
I would imagine they probably would have a bunch of people in those CGI suits
as the Clump characters.
It wouldn't even be. It'd be an evolution from the tennis balls. They would. Like people actually. So you would see people sitting there in these little suits, and all they have to do is just morph the clumps on them there.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Each day, and of course, each day Eddie would still play one of them, and one reason because of that. This is a real, like I mentioned, how, the thing that we really like about Eddie Murphy's acting in movies, especially in movies like this that we really like, is his dedication to playing multiple roles. Because he will tell you himself, he really, some people have been like, well, why didn't you just get other actors to play the other? He'd be saying, well, I like a challenge. Really, he expresses how it's just a thing that he really likes, dressing up in different costumes and stuff. And one thing, I know I mentioned about the nostalgia critic earlier, and probably some people probably not gonna like me complimenting him, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I really think that, how Doug Walker plays Nostalgia Critic, The Bum, Zod, and a lot of other people that be in his reviews and his different anniversary movies that he's made. I really liked, my assumption, I think he was inspired by Nutty Professor by Eddie Murphy.
Oh yeah, with the multiple characters.
I think that's one of, that's probably one of his many inspirations there, because he really, from what I heard in the old versus new of Jerry Lewis versus Eddie Murphy, Nutty Professor, he likes both movies, don't get me wrong, but I think he really likes how the take that Eddie Murphy had on it there. I think he really took some inspiration from that there. And it kind of shows if you look at certain reviews and maybe possibly some of the movies there, mostly probably the reviews, because he does a lot of multiple switching in those reviews. So yeah, that's that. And then of course one thing I noticed with Papa Clump, Papa Clump actually now, of course, Papa Clump is not is not trying to be a mean person or anything. He's not trying to be a bad person or a bad father.
He was just being honest of how he really feel about things, and he's just telling it like it is.
And he's real straightforward with that. See, like Sherman mentions about his research of trying to, cure for like people trying to lose weight, which I would imagine probably would be a big help to a lot of the rare cases of the gland disorder. So something like that. Probably reason of that research. Papa Clump looks at it like, look, we all different sizes. We big, they small. It's just sort of, I guess in a way, it's just that, keeping it simple type of thing there. Like, only thing you need to study is your butt. I got a big butt. Mama got a big butt.
Translation, you just want everybody to just be themselves and accept the way they are now.
Yeah, and that's his way of delivering it there. Yeah, like you did mention about Oprah and Luther Vandross. And yeah, I know when you look at the unedited DVD, he said the other word. But yeah, see, first time I saw the movie, I did not have, I had the VHS copy of the second movie for Christmas. So I did see a lot of the unedited stuff for the second movie. But the first movie was the edited TV version I recorded on a VHS in middle school.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a lot of him saying but instead of the other word, which, honestly, in my opinion, I think sounded better. Not because, he hates the PG-13. No, I say that it sounds better because of the rhythm of how he was speaking in the edited version.
Yes.
Yeah, his rhythm of how he was saying it, it just seemed like it flowed. But when he said the other one, like he had to pause and stop it there. He probably might not knows it right off, but yeah, from my point of view, that's what it kind of felt like. He had to kind of stop. It felt like that was the edited version, and the edited version was the more natural one. But like I say, I have a different point of view of the movie, so yeah. But yeah, though, I got a big butt. Mama got a big butt. Chicken got a butt. Chicken got a butt. A little joke from my folks. Chicken got a butt. Yeah. And of course, yeah, he has to end it with the famous fart scene. Who the heck called my name? Yeah, I called you if your name is. I tossed this fork between the crack of your butt. I actually, I might still have that video up. I'm not sure. I might, on my real old channel. It was one of the first videos made on it. I know I got it on a DVD somewhere here at the house, but when I did the whole dinner scene of Nutty Professor, I imitated all the club's voices in it in sort of a PG type of style. Pretty much like the edited version, yeah. Yeah, I go on all night. Oh boy. So yeah, and a lot of how Papa delivers his way of feeling towards, the research and just, keeping things simple. Of course, because Sherman's has his sensitivity, doesn't take so well to it there. Of course, Mama's going to cheer him up a little bit there. Yeah. So this leads him to ask Miss Purdy out, which I have to say, one thing that makes this version better than the Jerry Lewis version. Not saying that the Jerry Lewis is bad. I mean, you definitely can check that out, because I mean, it's because of this movie that this one exists. But in the Jerry Lewis version, the love interest Purdy was a student of Sherman Clump. So it was a teacher dating one of his students. Now, granted, they are in college, so technically they're both legal adults. But yeah, you gotta admit, despite that, yeah, it would kind of feel
awkward.
Yeah, a little awkward, especially
the professor's way older than the student.
Yeah, still, yeah. So they kind of changed that a little bit with the editor and made them both professors. Now, one thing they did do,
yes,
they made her a beginning professor, but and you probably could say that she might be a little younger than Sherman because they say Sherman is 35.
Yes.
And he's been at the university for a pretty good time. And she just started as a beginning professor. You probably could say that her character is probably I would say late 20s there.
Yes.
So, but she's a little closer than that of a student though. Yeah, she's a lot closer to Sherman in age there. So, still a little bit better than, that. But that's kind of just more of that's a small nitpick. That's not really anything major though.
Oh.
Now, it would be if it was a teacher and a high school student, but yeah.
That'll be a lot of red flags too.
Yeah, you definitely would not want to go there even in the 80s. No. As cool cats say, that's a no.
Or even in the 90s.
Or any time to be frank. Yeah. So since Sherman got him a date, of course how is he gonna celebrate? With a little Teddy Pettigram. Close the door. Let me give you what I've been waiting for. Oh, don't hurt him, Teddy. Oh boy. Can't go wrong with Teddy Pettigram when it comes to, And of course, now I forgot to look. I was supposed to look this up before we did this, but I did not. So, anybody watching this video, if please let us know in the comment section. Did Chris Rock play that landlord, Mr. Wilson? I'm assuming that was the landlord. But did Chris Rock play it because he sounded a lot like him? Quiet down up there, Sherman! Come, shut up!
Yeah.
So, and I have to share this. Hearing his voiceover was actually where I got the idea in one of the Brownny Reactions. I think when he reacted to the Nutcracker Untold movie. When it was mentioned about the stolen Christmas dinner. Honey, where's our Christmas dinner? We've been robbed, and they even took they even threw my fruitcake in the trash. Who does that? Yeah, that's where I got that idea, and yeah, at first we were gonna say that it actually was Chris Rock living next door to Brownny, but then later we figured, we'll just say that it's just a regular neighbor, but he just looks and sounds like Chris Rock. And called him Maxwell. Yeah, he's like, oh, I thought you were Chris Rock. Nah. Well, I give that a lot, though. Wouldn't mind making that check, though.
It's all about the money.
So, yeah. So yeah. Again, if anybody knows who that actor was, let us know. Was it Chris Rock or was it somebody, or was it an impersonator? Yeah. I just want to know for myself, that's all. Yeah. So, I kind of, how Lance Perkins is saying, yes, we can, they're encouraging that line from Sherman. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Yes, I can. I think Obama must have been watching this movie before he got ready to do his presidential speech before becoming president. Yes, we can. Yes, I can. Yes, we can. So, yeah. Thank you, Sherman, for inspiring Barack Obama's speech. Well, you made a mark in history. And that's why we have He's Barack. A lone voice in the distance uttered, yes, we can. He gave good speeches, never sweat. He's Barack Obama. He's come to save the
Oh, yeah,
day.
that Jib Jab video back in like either 2008 or 2009.
Oh yeah, y'all definitely gotta check that video out. Please, Jib Jab. I hope that's still up, cause that's a good video. I'm gonna take a look at that as soon as we done with this. Gonna take a look at that myself again.
Hopefully they didn't do one with Trump.
Oh no, oh Lord, no.
It's fake news. It's fake news. It's fake news.
Yeah.
He look like a fake news.
We had enough of him already.
Yeah, he look like fake news. So, of course, we did have a Rocky montage, of course, you know.
Yeah, with him trying to lose the weight.
Oh yeah, can't be a movie of moving up in life without a good old Rocky montage. It's like a rule. It's a classic rule.
Except you don't hear the theme from Rocky.
Oh yeah. Well, obviously,
I'm so excited.
well, yeah, they had to put a little bit of a twist, you know, kind of make it a little different.
Yeah.
But it's definitely a Rocky montage, yeah. However, you know, as we see, Sherman actually may not be losing the weight, but he does become more active, though.
Yes.
Yeah, so
I'm guessing he lost like approximately like 10 pounds or so. That's just the average, is 10 pounds, and he's still the same.
possible,
And he has a long way to go
possibly
because of his size.
And again, he was more active than when he first started with it there, so that's an improvement there.
Everybody's different, and people don't lose the same weight as others. They lose it differently. It all depends on their metabolism.
Yep, and like Papa,
as well as lifestyle.
and also like Papa Clump say, you know, it's just everybody just, you know, different. You know, you got the fact that he got more active kind of proves that, you know, sometime even as a big person, you can still it's still possible to have good health, you know, because you come in different sizes. Yeah, because you got I'm not saying all of them, because of course she's healthy, but we do have some slender people out there that are out of shape there, and hear me out, because I was racing one of my cousins once back in the day when we was in high school, and we would run a race, and of course I was still plump, he was skinny. We're running a race from his house to Grandma's house, and I thought because he was, this is my mind was thinking, because okay, he's skinny, he probably gonna beat me. Turns out I was ahead of him. I was like, I look back, I was like, and he was, I was like, dude, are you okay, man? I thought you'd be ahead of me. I'm out of shape.
What?
I was like, but you're skinnier than me. I thought, like, so sometimes that just happens sometime, you know. Just proves how everybody's different, you know, and sometimes things like that surprise you. Not always what you're gonna expect. Yeah. So then we get to the scream. Oh! Ooh. Scream is good for you. Clears up your epileptic and all the you can do. Oh, well, that's nasty. We'll go on to say.
And he has to over-explain himself.
Yeah. So as they're enjoying themselves, you know, a nice little dinner, quiet little R&B music. Summertime, want me to kick it with you. I'll find me something, none but somebody else. But then, you know, we gotta have the protagonist, somewhat of a protagonist. He's not the main protagonist, but you know, Reggie, one, give it up. And looking back on that scene, this is my reaction when Reggie pops out.
He looked like a male version of a hot mess.
He looked like he was wearing, you know, okay, you know how you hear this so much, especially with the youngins. Pull your pants up, boy. Stop sagging your pants. Pull your pants up, boy. Well, this is an example why we keep telling y'all to pull the pants up. Reggie look like he wearing a diaper. With them underwear out like it, the way he got his style, I can't even see how he walking straight.
Especially the way they were puffed up. Like,
Lord have mercy. MC Hammer has a better style than this.
he started to make MC Hammer look bad right now.
Yeah, because at least his pants cover his sure he have big pants, but at least they cover his underwear. That way you can't touch this. So yeah. I got it. Yeah, you got it. All right, got a big old diaper showing. Make me one shout. Yeah, I shout too. Then I bust out laughing.
It'll be worse if his pants were so down that he tripped on stage.
Oh boy. One thing Big Papa said about Reggie, the actor Dave Chappelle.
Yes.
That I don't know what he's doing now, but back then he was making more money than Eddie Murphy.
He did?
Yeah. So yeah. So then of course, he does his he does his women be shopping, the lady with the curly fried hair, AT&T extensions. And notice the lady with the curly fried hair didn't like her joke, but I guess that was her boyfriend or brother. I'm not sure, but the guy that was with her went to ow! He was funny. Why you laughing at me? So then, of course, he gets to Sherman. It's a full moon tonight. I think I found where they had Jimmy over. Yuck. So Sherman tries to, play it off. He tries to, hey, that's a good one there. Okay, now you got me. Oh, I ain't got you yet. And of course, the sad music as he continues to to just really harp on Sherman, yeah. And
I could tell in his face that he wanted to cry.
Yep.
And ironic, when they left it was raining. The music, the weather when people get depressed most of the time. The rain.
Oh yeah. So
I said most of the time.
Oh yeah. Yeah, ironic. And one thing I noticed when he went home and was eating out of depression, he had a donut on top of some Oreos.
Wow.
And since I just mentioned that, Dunkin' Donuts is probably going to make an Oreo donut at some point.
Maybe one day.
Mm-hmm.
I bet outside the United States they came up with that, the Oreo donut.
Oh, yeah.
Outside the U.S.
So then, of course, this leads to Sherman's dream sequence where he becomes a giant there. A giant that rampages through the town. Everybody run for the hill. It's Fatzilla. and Sherman, I brought you some nice fried chicken, Sherman. Oh, you look fabulous. One thing that confuses me, he's a giant and hungry. Why would he walk away from this big bag of fried chicken, reach in the window and only pick up the leg off of an entire chicken?
And try to bite it. I know in a logic sense he would just grab the whole turkey.
Yeah, because he's a giant. That whole turkey, eating the whole thing would be like me eating a bag of chips.
And he would have took the bag of fried chicken from Mama Clum.
Yeah, she was practically handing it to him.
And I know that bag was really greasy.
Like a Philadelphia cheesesteak.
Would have been nice if the chicken was in a bucket.
Oh yeah. So, and of course he belches. And he has gas, which because I watched the edited version the first time as a kid. They did not show where it was coming from when the old wind was blowing and everything. They did not show where it was coming from. So I thought he was belching. But turns out he was passing gas. Which almost blew Grandma away. Way to go, son! That's my boy! And then, of course, you hear the... No!
He lit a match and exploded.
Now, one thing I definitely like about the original movie, that explosion was loud in the original cut. Bam!
So loud that the room would shake a little.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that thing. Oof. I don't know where they got that sound bite from, but whoa! If just imagine all of a sudden you play that somebody's asleep.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Somebody be pretty pissed.
Literally.
Boy, what's wrong with you? So of course this leads him to test his experiment out on himself. Now of course it ain't gonna be like the Green Goblin and Spider-Man. Back to formula. Yeah. No, he changes into Buddy Love. Oh, then.
I streamlined Buddy Love.
Oh yeah. Look my cheekbone. Look my chest. Look my breath. Oh, that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now this was now I didn't mention this earlier, but this was a joke that has been mentioned before, and I think Eddie Murphy's even made this joke in other things outside Nutty Professor. I like what you do, Eddie Murphy. Big fan. But I hate it when you imply that men have breasts. Men do not have breasts. That is a bad joke. I do not know why that got started, but it should never have started. And if any of you watching this are gonna go in the comment section, you're gonna be wasting your time because it'll just get removed.
Yeah.
Although you'll probably do it anyway, but just letting you know, it'll be removed.
Once it's just read.
It's
Depending on what the comment is.
Yeah, sort of like Mr. Krabs with Squidward. Like, but Mr. Krabs, nothing. Mr. Krabs, nothing. Mr. Krabs, nothing. Go on, I'm gonna just keep saying it. So yeah. Oh. So yeah, of course, he's excited that he's skitty and sing nothing but it. And then, of course, James Brown, I Feel Good montage as he goes to shop for spandex. Surprising he doesn't don any of the spandex costumes like Spider-Man or the Power Rangers. Although I did put up a funny video of him as Doc Ock, though, with some footage from Nutty Professor. So yeah, we get that. Apparently, after that, he meets he comes across Miss Purdy. And yeah, apparently he comes across Miss Purdy, and this is where he comes up with a name for himself because of a security guard. Hey, buddy, what happened here last night? Oh, see, everybody knows buddy. Now, what if that security guard says something like, "Hey, bonehead"? I think that was your what you had mentioned there. Bonehead.
Bonehead or loser.
Hey, loser. See, everybody knows loser. Loser. You mean the dog? You mean the dog from Cats and Dogs? Loser.
What's next, jerk?
Hey, jerk. Everybody knows jerk. Jerk. Well, my fool. Is that your real name? Yeah. I'm Beef Jerky.
Beef jerky?
No, that's not my real name. Actually, it's Snap Into a Slim Jim! You will Snap Into a Slim Jim!
I would go for a Slim Jim right now, but I don't eat jerky.
Oh, too much of a jerk for you. I couldn't resist that. Oh my god. So yeah, that's how that starts. And of course we see the formula does start to wear off. So apparently it is temporary. But this does so of course Sherman has to take some more of it in order to do this date, his date, Buddy's date with Miss Purdy, which Buddy ends up being late for. And this makes him make a scene out of his apology. I'm sorry! I'm sorry! I want the world to know that I was late! And I'm sorry! The car broke down the street! My mother was sick! I needed for show! You know, I didn't think about this when I was taking the notes, but imagine if he broke into a song with that. My mother's sick! My car broke down on the street. I need it for sure. Of all the time. This gotta be happening to me tonight. Why? 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 Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't think she was believing anything he was saying. I think she just went on with it so he would shut up.
Oh.
Yeah, I think she just went on it because everybody was looking at him crazy.
Yeah, she just want to get on it with the date.
But Buddy did say he didn't care. He didn't care about anybody watching him. You think I care about all these people watching me? I apologize right for these people. And then sure enough, he did. Yep. So then, of course, since they're at the Scream again, you know Reggie's gonna be back again. But Buddy pulls a trap on him. It's a trap! By complimenting Buddy, complimenting and then going into making fun of him. He's like, you on your way. You the next Reggie Bruce, man. That's some funny stuff. Well, thank you so much. I'm glad you like Reggie's show. That even work with me doing it to you. Look at Reggie's gum and teeth. Look like his mother had a fair Mr. Ed. Oh.
Now, the way Buddy's getting back at Reggie reminds me of when Shrek is getting back at Prince Charming when he's on stage in Shrek the Third.
Oh.
Except it's before except that the Nutty Professor came out released first before Shrek the Third.
Maybe Shrek got it from Nutty Professor.
And I know the audience laugh at Shrek more than Prince Charming.
Yeah.
In this case, the audience laugh at Buddy Love more than Reggie.
And I tell you what's even stranger about that joke about the affair with Mr. Ed. Reggie's mama and Mr. Ed. Years later, we got a news report of a man who had sexual relations with his horse in real life.
Wow.
So I think we know what happened to Mrs. Ed.
Ooh.
Ow! Let that sink in for a second. That's almost. Oh boy. Yeah, it's like imagining Lord Zed and Rita Repulsa. Exactly! Ha! Well, granted, we are talking about a PG-13 movie. Yeah, this movie ain't for kids. This is a family picture. No, it's not. So yeah, Reggie does try to fight back with Eddie, but Buddy can't be beat. Reggie's mama is so fat. Her blood type is rock and roll.
Wow. Like her blood type tastes like ice cream?
Apparently.
Wow.
And Reggie looks like he want to cry. I guess nobody told Reggie, you know, you get into a you get into a life of being a comedian, you talk about folks, be prepared that folks are going to turn around and do this to you.
They will talk about you.
Yeah, this is the harsh reality of when you're doing stand-up comedy that a lot of comedians know already from the beginning. Eddie Murphy, Steve Harvey, Bill Cosby, all of them, they know what they in for.
And you have to be ready to take it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they would not be doing this and be professionals if they all of a sudden do what Reggie's about to do.
Enough! Silence! I can't take this stuff no more. You didn't talk about me enough, boy. I tried to be peaceful, but now it's time for Reggie to karate-tize your face. Oh, yeah. Oh.
And just like the diaper made me bust out laughing, we took off the... Oh, that pile of crap on his head. I'm dead. Y'all remember Tyler Perry the character Meet the Mr. Brown, right? When he had the toupee in I Do Bad By Myself, and that toupee fell off a few times.
Yes.
That's what them dreadlocks Reggie had looked like it kind of looked like a pile of crap that they glued to his head. You just go too far with the comedy now.
Ouch. Now I mentioned that Reggie's hair reminds me of burnt licorice.
Oh my goodness.
Burnt licorice.
Well, I bet the ants would love that.
The ants on his hair and the roaches.
Ants, the roaches, and probably the sugar bees.
I know he'll be slapping it all day. He was slapping them away.
Well, yeah.
And he might go near water somewhere. He might not go nearby some water, some standing water to get them all out.
Oh dear. So, yeah, you just go too far with the comedy now. Oh, it's my style. You know, Reggie Steady. What's that? It's called Kick Your Face Style. Come on with it. Apparently, if he studied on the streets, apparently the studies did not tell him you don't announce your attack. This is not an anime, Reggie, and yes, I like anime. But the stuff they do in their universe works for them in their universe. You can't do what they do in the real world. Yeah, sort of like the transformation scenes, which of course in theory is probably like a split second. Yeah. But yeah, you're not a Digimon, Reggie. Yeah, so apparently because of this, Eddie gets the upper hand and slams him on the piano, serenades Mrs. Purdy, then throws him in the piano.
Ouch.
Reggie has left the building. Thank you and good night. And seeing as how everybody seems to applaud Eddie Murphy for doing this, makes you wonder, did anybody ever go and get Reggie out of the piano?
I guess they didn't. If they did, I guess as years go on, he would have been a skeleton by now.
Or since Reggie likes anime, so since Reggie seems to do the calling out attack like a Digimon, or maybe he went to the Shadow Realm. Ladies and gentlemen, Reggie is in the Shadow Realm. Mind crush. Oh, no, I'm not trying to make fun of you. Yeah, I'm just. Yeah, but I do know there are some fans who, not too liking it when they do it. You know. Anywho. So then, of course, they share their kiss, and Formula starts to wear off again, giving him a big lip. Trying to talk like that. I don't know. I don't think Miss Purdy would have understood what I was saying. So yeah, and yeah, of course, you all know what happened with the car chase and Jason screaming.
Yes.
The big lip and the big and yeah. Oh boy, but so and of course Dean Richmond tells Sherman about a grant proposal to which kind of gets him out of the fire of what's been going on recently that could possibly save the university. And one thing you definitely got to say about Dean's character, he's not exactly a bad guy, or I mean, yeah, maybe a little mean here and there, but overall, he is kind of sort of looking out for the school.
Yes.
And also, obviously, his own job as well, because, I mean, the guy's got to eat, you know. So, yeah, that's just, it's just a typical, yeah, anybody could probably relate to where Dean's probably coming from there. However, what I would hope, is that people in playing his role in a future movie will be able to remember their lines a lot better, so they won't have to read off the cue cards. Oh, better yet, yeah, use this as a better example. Yeah, they won't. Now I know it doesn't say it on here, but I'm just using it as an example. I'm gonna kill you. And I don't mean that as a euphemism. I am going to literally kill you. Hang on a second. I will strangle you and choke off your air supply until you pass away.
So the way his facial expression looks, he looked like he was reading from a cue card.
It's almost like the joke the critic made about the kids in Full House there. You are no fun anymore. Yeah, but at least it makes sense with them because they're little kids, like 3 or 4 years old.
Yes, especially the youngest ones.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's a date. Yep. And apparently we'll have to mark this as a two-parter Royal Talk there.
A two-parter?
Yeah, because our battery energy is running out there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, gotta give it a quick charge in order for us to do part 2. So we will return with our next. This was episode 4.
Yes.
So we'll return with episode 5, Nutty Professor part 2. Not the sequel, yeah, but yeah. Yep. So we will return with the next episode there. And until then, we will see you guys later.
Bye, everyone. Peace out.
Yeah, we'll be back.